2023 brought us so many incredible sports moments. So as we enter a new year, it's the perfect time to take a look back at the top 8 sports moments of this past year. We start with number 8. Kicking off our list, an old friend makes his return to Lincoln after 20 years. Former Nebraska coach and player Frank Solich returned to Memorial Stadium and was honored at halftime during the Huskers spring game all the way back in April. He was honored with 45-yard lines painted onto the field, plus the new Husker locker room was named in his honor. Solich finished at Nebraska with a 58-19 record. He also led the Huskers to the 2001 National Championship game. Moving on. At number 7, we move from a moment during this sports year to an entire season. Nebraska soccer had an incredible 2023, finishing the year with a 17-4-3 record, which included a trip to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1999. And during the playoffs, the Huskers saw some record-breaking crowds in attendance, with over 2,000 on hand for their first round and second round matches. The Huskers and the nation were led in goals by Big Ten Forward of the Year Eleanor Dale, who had 28. Incredible year for Husker soccer. And from Husker sports to high school sports, coming in at number 6, it's the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks winning their first ever state title in program history as they swept Papillion La Vista just last month. The Silverhawks led the entire way, allowing just under 17 points in each set. They were led by senior Emerson Lionberger, who recorded 8 kills. Senior Aaliyah Bradford had 15 digs, and senior Abby Applegate recorded 5 blocks in that sweep. We keep it going. From one first to another, we go back all the way to May, where Lincoln East secured Lincoln its first Class A state title since 1977. The Spartans found themselves down by 2 heading into the 5th inning. A pass ball got the Spartans on the board. Then shortly after, A.J. Evasco delivered a single to right, scoring Troy Pelt, tying the game up at 2. And then in the 10th, future Husker Joey Senstock singled into right. You saw it a second ago, which would help secure that title. Carter Mick went 6 strong on the mound and struck out 12 in that win. We move now to the top 4. Keeping with Lincoln East, we move from the diamond to the football field. It was a double overtime thriller at Seacrest Field. Lincoln East and Lincoln Southeast meeting up in week 2. The Knights led 7-0 going into halftime. Now that score would increase to 14-0 heading into the 4th quarter. In the 4th, the Knights would grab one more score to make it 21-0, but the Spartans came alive, tying the game up at 21, sending us to overtime. In overtime, number 1, both teams would find the end zone, sending us to a deciding second overtime period. After a missed field goal, East would go on to close things out with this walk-off field goal by junior kicker Colin Nehe. Incredible performance from both teams. We now move to the top 3. Who is it gonna be? At number 3, we have a three-peat. Lincoln Lutheran Volleyball took home their 3rd straight state title after defeating Clarkson Lee in a 5-set thriller. Each set decided by single digits as this nail-biter went on. The Warriors would jump out to a 2-set lead before the Patriots rallied back to send this match into a deciding 5th set. That final set would be very back and forth, but in the end, the Warriors hoisted up the trophy for the 3rd straight time. The team led by the Wolgemuth sisters. Sophomore Lily recorded 20 kills, and her older sister Sophie had 19. Carrie Limeback had 36 digs, and Jillian Donovan set a new school record with 59 assists in that win. And coming in at number 2, it was the match of the century. Nebraska taking on Wisconsin in October inside a packed Bob Devaney Center. 9,198 fans on hand for this legendary battle between then number 1 and 2. The match was split at 1 set apiece heading into intermission. Wisconsin claimed set 3. The Huskers clawed their way back in set 4, sending this to a deciding 5th set. Late in set 5, Harper Murray came up big with a kill to give the Huskers a 14-12 lead heading into that final point. The Badgers' Sarah Franklin recorded a kill to make it 14-13. But hang on, folks. Upon further review, it was decided the point would be overturned by a net violation, securing the win for the Huskers. Nebraska would claim that number 1 spot in the nation and never give it up the rest of the way. And here at number 1, it was the biggest day in sports history. Volleyball Day at Memorial Stadium brought in a record-setting 92,003 fans from all over, surpassing the previous world record crowd for women's sporting events of over 91,000 set in 2022. The Huskers defeated UNO in a 3-set sweep over the Mavericks. It helped kick off an absolutely incredible season for the Big Red. Along with this match and the Wisconsin match, the season was absolutely memorable for the Huskers. that win, the win over Stanford, a Big Ten title, never losing a game all season at the Bob, that long rally against Kentucky, and so many more memories. 2023 was, of course, full of even more special moments and plays, but I'm sure we are all excited to see what 2024 has in store.